I needed that. Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons. I've changed my shirt. That was the entire purpose of me teleporting away in yesterday's video. I totally wasn't rage quitting or anything like that. But yes, before I go into any more detail about anything, this doubles as today's Let's Play video because I've finally had word from Alex, and he's promised me that although I can't have an episode going up today, there will be an episode going up this weekend because stuff's been happening. He finally had the foresight to let me know ahead of time, but so that's the story with that. Anyway, today is the 22nd of April, I forgot which month it was, and it's the 22nd day of VEDA, and it's a Wednesday, and it's the first Wednesvlog of me being here. And that's kind of unfortunate, because like Wednesvlog was the last thing that I filmed before I set off to travel back up here, which means that it's actually been a week since I travelled up here. Well, it was during Thursday, so it's not quite a week, but I took a couple of videos of me travelling up. I don't really say anything in them, but yeah, I travelled up, and it's been a week, so they're kind of not really relevant, but I will share with you some of the footage that I took. So, first of all, here's me having just come out of security and emerging in Terminal 5 of Heathrow Airport, I think it is. Now, if I look a little bit pissed off in that clip, it's kind of because getting through security was a bit of a hassle. Now, when I was going down the first time on the 31st, I was randomly selected at security just for a boopity-boop-boop kind of search. I don't know what you'd call that, but yeah. And my bag got thingied as well. I think it was because of the microphone, or it might have been a random check, I don't know. Now, going back through the other way, heading back up north, unfortunately, I had so much free time, so there wasn't really time pressure, but so I get through security. I myself and me, I'm fine, but they decide that my bag is somehow suspicious, again, even though I took the microphone out this time, so sort of removed that variable from the equation. And so they were in a bad mood that day because there were about 5 or 6 other bags they declared suspicious ahead of mine as well. And so I had to stand around waiting for them to go through those one by one at a snail's bloody pace. And they looked through mine, they asked me to open it, they checked through it, and they were like, okay, it's fine. Like, what? I even asked them, is that it? Am I fine? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it turns out that, like, while I was down south, for some context, I am a bit of a tea person. Sometimes I have fruit tea instead, just so I can be healthful or varied or something. But the thing is, up here, you can only get lemon tea of the brand that I get. And so while I was down south, I asked my parents to look out for peach tea, because I absolutely love peach tea of this particular brand, but they only had apple, so I settled for apple, because the apple tea of that brand is also nice. That's this. I don't think I can show off the logo, but here's a sample of what it looks like, and I think you can fill in the rest if you've seen it before. Anyway, because it's instant tea, and it's a powder, they put it through the scanning machine, and they thought it was a liquid! So, Heathrow Airport, you're so paranoid. Yes, I'm gonna blow up a plane with a jar of tea. Well, no harm came of it, because like I said, I had so much free time, and wasn't really, like, it was a nuisance to have to wait around for so long, because I had about 3 trays worth of stuff, because I had to put my coat and belt and watch in one of them, had to have a completely separate tray for my bag, and then there was my laptop, which had to be out separately, and so I was standing there with this tray of my assorted technology that needs to go back into my bag, but I have to wait for my bag to catch up. But it was a nuisance, but it's all good now. Well, that was a week ago, and I made it up here, so spoiler alert, everything turned out fine. I did see there was one flight heading to Israel from that terminal that day. I took a photo of it and sent it to Europe's Gallo 8 because, well, I don't want to include a clip of Israel's song for Eurovision this year, but it features the lyrics, "But before I leave, let me show you Tel Aviv." And so before I left, I took a photo of a flight leaving for Tel Aviv. That's the joke there. Anyway, once I got off, like, it's surprising how fluid Newcastle Airport is, especially compared to loads of the others, because turning up for the airport, like flying out from there, you just turn up, show me your boarding card, okay, go to the departure lounge, and then everything's delicious, and yes. And even more so on the way back out, because, like, the plane lands, and they're like, okay, you can take off seatbelts, get out the plane. You get out the plane, you go through the arrivals, and then that's it. You're out. There is no. Well, that's partly because it's a domestic flight. To be honest, like obviously they wouldn't have to faff about with border control because domestic flight. You can't really. You can't fly in from abroad when the plane never left the country in the first place. But it's just it never fails to. It's a shock to the system. After having travelled abroad a fair amount, I can't say I've travelled abroad a lot because my father travels abroad much more than I do. But sometimes I do. Like I've been to a bunch of places, a bunch or a load of places. So much so that I managed to do a top 10 places what I have visited. So I know what it's like having to go through border control and customs and whatnot, and it's a bit of a shock to the system to be able to step off a plane and then just be out of the airport. I mean, not out, because like it connects directly to the local metro service, which is a load of trains, and it's brilliant. So essentially, straight off the plane, straight on a train, and then whoop, back in the city centre. And here's a brief little video I took of me on the train. And then everything from there was just fine. Although I did have to go out for dinner that night because I didn't have any food in. So I went to Nando's. Oh yeah, I took a video with Nando's as well. Oh, I will play that clip as well because I went out for dinner at Nando's and they didn't have any forks, so I ended up eating a chicken breast with a knife and a spoon. That was fun times. But here's a clip of me in one of the two, there are two Nando's here within walking distance of each other, and there's one of them that when my father's here, that's the one I go to, but the one I went to instead is one that I go to when I go out by myself. But I've only been to it twice because I've only gone out for dinner by myself twice. Well, 3 times if you count the other time, but that wasn't to Nando's. So clip. So, yeah, don't really have anything else to vlog about because my week has just been me getting back into university and doing stuff. I have a load of deadlines coming up for assignments, so I've been working hard on those. And that's, funnily enough, not been impacting my YouTube videos and vice versa, which is interesting, but I'm fine with it. Also, in case it wasn't obvious, the past couple of days, well, the 3 days preceding yesterday, I marathoned the entire every episode of Steven Universe that there has ever been, and it is glorious, and I apologise for none of it. So, all I have left to watch now is Over the Garden Wall, and then I'll be completely set. So, I don't have anything else to say, so I will sign out, I suppose. I have been and will continue to be tessellating hexagons, and I'll see you in whichever of my videos you happen to choose to watch next. Goodbye.